Federation is the major trade body for UK real estate. So we have all parts of the sector in our membership, from developers to investors, lenders, agents, lawyers, everyone who's involved in UK property, which, as you know, is a massively diverse industry, is within our membership. So I'm taking part in a panel later on in a few minutes' time at the conference, which is all about the high street, reimagining the high street, the role that operational real estate can play and needs to play within that reimagining that needs to go on in our town centres and high streets across the country. Local authorities are great at this. You know, they've got a really clear vision about how they want to reimagine the high street, how they're going to place that retail that's shrinking with other uses, and create a real sense of community. So there's some really great examples of good practice out there, some really talented people in local authorities leading that.
Do you think that they have a sense of what the private sector brings, you know, and the opportunities? You know, this is operational real estate, you know, we're hearing today about lots and lots of different use cases for town centre property. Are they aware, do you think, of what the private sector does bring?
Well, I think there is a journey going on, not only actually in the public sector, but also within the industry itself, around thinking much more about buildings as the platform to offer a service. Now, I mean, in operational real estate, that's kind of a given. You know, that's what operational real estate is all about. But I think that understanding is spreading much more generally across the real estate sector. I'm seeing that within our membership. So as that common currency of thinking about how do we use the buildings and the environment that they create to create better quality of life for people, to create more opportunities for people to come together, to share experiences, then I think we're all on that journey together, actually. I don't think that's something that the public sector is particularly behind the private sector. And there are parts of the private sector that are having to think very, very differently about how they approach development, investment, holding assets, managing assets.
Right. Do you sense other Western democracies are a bit further ahead than the United Kingdom, or are we pretty much up there amongst the leaders in terms of this high street reimagining?
I think everybody's going on the same journey, but we are further advanced than most in terms of the impact that internet shopping online has had on our retail environment. You know, by and large, that's a much higher proportion of our shopping than it is in other parts of the world. But I think that reimagining of buildings, partly because of the sustainability agenda too, you know, so we're all much more aware of the embodied carbon in buildings, of the carbon cost of operating buildings. So, you know, everyone around the world is grappling with those challenges, I think. And I think everyone is on the journey of, as a result, thinking much more imaginatively about how we use our buildings, what they're for. But I think, as I say, that specific issue around the shrinking of the retail footprint, we are further ahead than most in having to deal with the consequences of that.